great show for us, but Luminosity Gaming has also looked very, very strong.
Yeah, Luminosity definitely impressing a lot of people, but I think more so it's more surprising of ALG's performance. You know, they're definitely not lacking in talent, you know, by the hands of just Moch and Royalty alone. They can definitely have these explosive moments, but I think that just them making it this far, no one would have predicted that. So coming up towards the top of their group, it's just a really impressive run so far. So as we hop into the rig draft here now between these two teams, again, I'm Fox, joined by Dirk, but let's talk about these selected payloads. We see reactive armor on both sides, rewind on both sides, active camo, both rosters opting to go with that. The only difference here is that we're seeing Warfighter on one side and Striker on the other for that Centurion and Overdrive.
Yep, just back to the basics for Luminosity Gaming. Ever since this kind of dropped, they've been using the Centurion. They just in scrims and stuff like that, just kind of had that discussion. They had Octane running the Claw. They said, hey, it takes too long to get. Let's go ahead and just switch to the Centurion. But he's not going to be using the Trophy Drone. He's going to be using Hardened instead on that trait. But my two players for watch, I think this favors the side of Luminosity Gaming very, very good on a map like Throwback. I think it's going to be classic and safe to the players to watch. It's just going to be a constant battle between them with the OSAs and going up against this Allegiance team. Like we said, they turned a lot of heads. Didn't really expect them to do much in this one, but it's been Mochilla and Royalty kind of like leading the charge. Sinful and Remy been doing very good at the support, and we just keep on bringing it up time and time again. Sinful, a player who never really has had many chances. Probably the biggest chance that he has right now is with Allegiance, and it's definitely paying off thus far.
Yeah, and more on to Moch. I look to him in this map here, in Hardpoint. I think this is where Moch really comes to light. His ability is shown in Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and Infinite Warfare now, just how strong he can be in this game mode and how reliable he can be in this game mode in that assault rifle role. As long as you let him play comfortable, he will contribute in the stats column. So looking forward to see what he can do with it. We're seeing an OSA, and on the side of ALG, I know they use a lot of sort of quirky attachments. We'll see some extended mags where you wouldn't expect it, some laser sight where you wouldn't expect it. You're seeing an OSA with extended mag in the hands of Sinful.
Yeah, I mean, remember when we watched Royalty yesterday, he was just kind of stacking his weapon, leaving some perks out. But anyway, the game is underway. The first two kills going to be going in favor of the guys from Luminosity. Immediately going to be traded, but nobody has yet to break the hill to get any sort of points. Slack's going to be the first player in there, so it's for the side of Luminosity, but going to be shut down immediately. But this first hill, just going to see a lot of contention. I mean, it is possible for a team to try to get a decent bit amount of time off of this one, but so far just going back and forth as we already just have 30 seconds left in this first hill.
Luminosity so far pretty heavily outslaying the likes of ALG, able to award themselves with a few seconds on the hard point. ALG spawning out towards blue. We see three players pushing up from blue over the tunnel here. Gunfight going down. It's really mostly just coming from the end of Saints, and he's able to find that kill. So him watching that cut, he's trying to slow the pressure of ALG onto this rotation and give his team some more time. He's able to find one kill, but that trade ultimately makes it negligible. Him coming up off spawn, though, he's now well aware of what the play is looking like, and he comes back with a vengeance. Finds two kills. He ends up as bait for Slack to find another two, and that's an awesome rotation coming in from LG. Awesome coordination.
Yep, definitely putting him at 350 off that Trinity Rocket as well. Starting to heat up 4-1. Currently on a 3-kill streak is Slack. Is he going to be able to keep it going? No, it's going to be Sinful shutting him down with the OSA. But look for Octane. The guy's off to a hot start as well. He's going to be able to pick up one kill while he's inside of the hill. No points still yet registered for the guys on Allegiance. It's been all Luminosity so far. Now they're finally going to be able to break into the hill. It's going to be Sinful getting the first couple points for Allegiance.
45-second lead here from Luminosity Gaming. ALG has to be real happy to get some time on this hill here. We got Sinful opening up with some huge kills. That extended mag coming into play there. Didn't have to reload for any of that. He could just spray them down with the bullet hose that is the OSA. Luminosity looks like they're still trying to set up for another push onto this hill. I think they just might want to keep the pressure up so that they can get the bike path hardpoint a little bit easier. But still, it's kind of weird that they went into the hardpoint this way because they did send one blue side. Now they're sending three blue side.
Yeah, they definitely are. The rotation's going to be coming in. The guy we're watching is going to be Octane. Going to be one player watching that. That is going to be Remy. Let's see if Octane's going to be able to do anything. The MB4 should be able to outclass the K-Bar from range, and that's exactly what it's going to do, but Mochilla's going to be exactly there to trade that one. Now Spawn's going to be going in favor of the guys from Allegiance. Look for them to push out both sides and try to get that middle map control.
I'm just not quite sure what that push was on Barn there for the last, 2 seconds of the hardpoint that they didn't even get. Maybe they just prefer this side of the hardpoint for this hill, but we'll just see how it pays off for him here. Lots of competition going down, or contention going back and forth on the hardpoint right now. Royalty not really able to connect with too much. He finds one kill, but Octane's able to shut him down. Awesome grenade from Remy. He connects with two players. Saints and Octane on respawn. Now Moch in position. All he has to do is pre-aim and wait. He knows exactly where they can come from, and he's going to decide to get aggressive and push up here. Not quite the right play, though. Those players coming up off spawn will be holding that cut for their teammate.
Yeah, definitely is slacked. Going to be inside of the hill. You're going to see the Allegiance players already starting to rotate early back to the statue area, but now you're going to see the flood from Luminosity Gaming. This is what they do so good. They're always two-hitting anywhere that they go to make sure they can get those trades, three-hitting, anything like that. That's something I admire about Luminosity Gaming, and it pays off for him every single time. But Classic going to be the player pushed all the way up. He's going to have a teammate coming there for the support. That one is going to be slacked. He's getting close to that rewind, starting to heat up a little bit. 3-kill streak, make that 4. He's going to find 2 inside of the hill. Let's see if he's going to be able to continue this one. But now you look at the top of the mini-map, you're going to see the Allegiance players starting to spawn over by barn, but now a split is going to be coming in from mid-map.
And see, this is why Slack is so dangerous. He can really just have these S-tier performances. You know, I feel like Moch at his best still isn't quite isn't even close to the level of Slack at his best. So if we see some of that come out here, some of that superstar performance, Luminosity should have no problem closing out this map with no chances of an ALG comeback. Classic in position top blue. He's going to try and keep the pressure off so that his team can get that scrap time. But if you look, one slips right by him. That's Remy. He's not. It looks like he's trying to get some of that scrap time here. The gunfight goes down. He's able to take out Octane. Now the rest of ALG is spawning up at blue.
Yep, and Mochilla is just going to be left by himself over back here, so let's see what he plans to do. He can kind of get crafty here and try to make a big play happen to completely break this one open. He's going to be able to find one. That's going to be outside. A second one pushes. It's going to be Classic coming out on top there for the side of Luminosity Gaming. Is he going to be able to find another one pushing through the tunnels? He's going to be fully streaked out as well. He's trying to find a second, and that's what he does. He kills Royalty, making up a nice 2-piece, currently on a 8-kill streak. Who can stop Classic? And the man to stop him is Mochilla.
The gun skill from this man, Classic. Catch him with any sort of an assault rifle, any roll of an assault rifle, and he's going to fire away. That we saw a lot from him in Black Ops 3. He impressed a whole lot of people. Saints still finding that 2-piece. Fulfilling the role that Slack mentioned Saints was picked up for as a Slayer. Currently 17-3 for Luminosity.
Yep, going
13. That's a 13 right there.
Going very, very big right now, but Slack is going to have that payload ready to go. So he's going to have the rewind. We know how beneficial that can be, just in case you get in a little bit of a sticky situation. 2 players from ALG going to be rotating on the minimap right now in this back market area. It's going to be players Sinful and Royalty. Let's see what they're going to be able to do. I believe Slack did actually just jump over top. He's going to be able to find one. That one's going to be on Remy, but the players are starting to flood in. It's going to be Royalty doing the dirty work inside of the hill. Immediately going to be traded out. He's going to have Mochilla there for the support. Now hill control going to be going in favor of Allegiance, but now the player's spawning out that top blue area, but the player we need to watch is going to be Saints as he's slowly starting to come in for the pinch.
Yeah, so there's Saints, but he's got a wall of yellow in front of him and no follow-up at all for those multiple engagements. I mean, this hard point, I don't think we've seen LG play it too well thus far. When they rotated it and pushed it in those last few seconds, and even on the last time they were here, this is how ALG clawed their way back into this game from that like 40-second deficit that they had. And now it looks like they're doing it again. They might just make themselves a lead, unless Classic and Slack are able to push in through here and get some time for the team. Sinful trying to make a difference, but he's outnumbered here. Expect him to die soon after firing a few bullets.
Yeah, definitely something to keep in mind too. Classic still does have these streaks to work with. Can maybe try to break him out on this underpass hill, but it's probably going to be beneficial just to use those on statue if they need to get a break. But like you said, not playing this barn hill very well. A majority of the time be going to Allegiance every single time around. This hill basically is just what has been keeping them in the game in a sense. So let's see if they're going to be able to turn it around as we move to the underpass. Mochilla going to be the first player there for Allegiance, awaiting the push from the Luminosity players, but it's going to be Sinful left to fight 1 versus 2. He's going to be able to find one, not find the second. But Mochilla doing a smart play, just laying down, getting this time.
Yeah, see, he knows he doesn't have to engage right away. He has the time behind the cover, behind these sandbags, that chest-high cover to just regen his health and get a few free seconds. LG can't force that. They can't push him unless he stands up. So now that he does that, LG's able to take over, get the hard point. Someone that's Sinful in middle map trying to go for a flank. He fails on it, so that's going to award LG with just a little bit more time on this hill.
Yep, and the setup that Luminosity Gaming is trying to get right now is the one that you want, but that middle map player, which is going to be Saints, and now he's getting very, very aggressive, pushing straight into the Allegiance space. He's going to be able to find 3 from that push, so break, it's benefiting them greatly, currently on a 4-kill streak, but the players from Allegiance are going to say, hey, let's not push this hill anymore. We're going to start to overextend and rotate early through blue. Let's see if it's going to pay off. Saints, like we said, on a bit of a hot streak, find one. There's going to be one more player around the corner. He's going to decide to not push Saints. Saints going to lose that engagement that he does just get in. Classic does have that payload ready. The active camo can come in handy to break any sort of hill.
So that was good coordination out of Moch of ALG. They knew that Moch was on the flank, so that player that was just around the corner from Saints, who's on the 5 streak, he didn't have to challenge because he knew Saints was looking that way and that Moch was on his way as well. So now ALG is going to find them with some time on the hard point. Streaks coming in, not making a huge difference here. And on Luminosity's break, they find 3 kills to open it up. The Trinity Rocket comes in, takes out Moch. So that should award Luminosity with some hill time. They spent a lot to get it, so they better hold on to it.
Yep. A little bit of a comfortable lead here, 174 to 136. Looks like they should be able to get the last 20 seconds of this one if they can just hold off this last ALG push coming from Blue, and that's exactly what they're doing. Classic and Octane doing some nasty work. Octane with the NV4, and then Classic with the K-Bar. Just getting this last bit of time before we rotate to mid, but you see the kind of all the arrows from ALG right now, separating all the way through middle map. They're doing an excellent job if they can just hold the setup, but they just need to make sure they hold these choke points. And that big gunfight that just went down right there between Saints and I believe it was Royalty was one that he definitely had to win.
All right, so Saints knows that he's heavily outnumbered here on mid. Doesn't even bother popping the reactive armor. Smart play there to save that for a later date. Still, the rest of his team able to pick up kills. It's going to be Slacked and Classic in position. Classic still has access to his payload. He's currently 28 and 17 right now. Monstrous performance from him to follow up on Saints' great start.
Definitely is. And then more with Saints again does have that reactive armor, and something to keep in mind. He's going to spot another one, but Sinful's going to be able to come out on top of that one. So starting to heat up here. Currently on a 3-kill streak, watching this left side bridge area. He's going to be pushed by one from Lemon. Is he going to be able to win this gunfight? Yes, he does. And now if he wants to, he can try to play for these streaks. He's going to find a second. Sinful really starting to kick things into gear here. 5-kill streak, and it's still rising. 225 off of that Trinity Rocket, and streaks could benefit ALG greatly, but they're going to be moving towards the hill that they've been able to hold for so much. That's really been keeping them in the game. I would not be surprised to see them bring this back and tie it up.
Yeah, LG's really been struggling to break this hard point. We'll see if they can make a difference this time. Looks like a camo got popped there or something, but 2 kills go in favor of Luminosity to start off their push. That's 3, still unanswered. ALG needs to respond here soon. All players are spawning out, though. It's not going to be easy. Moach still gunning Classic down. Awesome shot, and awesome of him to stay alive. Keeping the pressure up so that when his teammates pushes, he's ready to contribute to it as well. Sinful comes through, finds that kill. Saints is able to win the engagement against Moach, who stayed alive from the previous wave, but still, 3 kills go in favor of ALG, and again, they take control of Barn Hardpoint, Dirk.
Yes, it's similar, right? I mean, we seem to just kind of be back and forth at the start, but ALG always comes in, clears out the players from Luminosity, and is able to hold it down, getting a lot of good time off of this one. Again, this is something Luminosity needs to start to figure out if they are to go on in the future of this tournament, if they play throwback hardpoint. It's just this one hill. We haven't seen them get any sort of decent time from it, so we need to see a big change coming from the side of Luminosity. They're going to be able to get in there, pick up the scrap time. It's going to be Classic getting that. I mean, you can fight scrap for all you want. I mean, you're so close to winning the game. 243 to 177. 7 seconds away from closing this one out is Luminosity. Slack going to be inside the hill. If you're ALG, all you need to do right now is just try to contest and then keep trying to slay out.
Sinful trying to take point there. Hip fire in the brick wall. Not going to contribute a whole lot to the engagements, though. Kills going back and forth. Remy's able to find 2 and stay alive. Connects us some shots on the 3rd. Can't finish the job. The reactive armor, though, keeping him in the fight. So he knows he has to challenge again. The EMP pops. Destroys everything he was trying to set up there. Kills all falling in favor of Luminosity Gaming, and that's the end of map 1. LG takes it 250 to 180. This game, Dirk, I have to contribute a lot of ALG's performance. Even though they did lose, so many high-impact kills came from Mochilla. And then, of course, there was Sinful, who just had a higher score all around in the KD column. They kept them in this game, but it just wasn't enough. The slaying strength of all of the players on Luminosity was their win factor.
Yeah, we keep bringing up, I mean, it's just the performance on the Barn Hill. If they could replicate that to every hill, they would be perfectly fine. There's just something about that hill that they do so well in terms of breaking and trying to get a pinch. I mean, with a lot of these bigger maps, I don't believe there was an NV4 player for anybody on the side of ALG, and maybe that's something that kind of hurt him a little bit. We see Octane, the MV4 player for Luminosity Gaming, 30 and 24, minute 25 in the hill as well. So it's going to benefit you greatly having one of those players, especially for that underpass hill. You can even use it for the statue, placing them in back concessions as well. But Luminosity Gaming going to be going up 1-0. Search and Destroy Retaliation is going to be coming up next.
So getting into map number 2, if you're ALG, you just kind of want to shake that first map off. You had some shining moments, which I feel like their shining moments is more of just LG's inability to break around Barn Hardpoint. They clearly just they just didn't have it together when they were breaking that hill. I mean, Moch was able to stay alive and just use his overall prowess in this game mode for those moments, but getting in the search and destroy, you just want to shake that off. You know, this is not the time for pre-game jitters or letting the pressure get to you. You want to make sure you can shut it out here, put a map up on the board, and tie up this series. It's do or die right now.
Yep, and Retaliation, one of the, in my opinion, I like to watch it more than any other map, but what we're going to see from Octane, we saw this last series too that they played against Evil Geniuses. He opts to go with the FTL jump, but this time he's actually going to pick a trait. Usually he leaves it just blank. It doesn't decide to select when he's going to be going with the power slide, so we know what that can do. Kind of slows down your movement a little bit with the G slide that players do to get around the map. Then you're going to see the Warfighter coming out on the side of ALG. It's going to be Royalty equipping that one.
So he's running Combat Burst here with Rewind instead of Propulsion. Sinful, maybe not one of those players that sees he clearly doesn't see more value in really just having that high regeneration rate on your thrusters, right? So maybe we won't see too many like crazy high wall runs from him, too many just situations where you can just hover over some like chest high cover or something like that. He sees the benefit of combat burst over propulsion. So Dirk, what makes you think that? What is your reasoning? What do you think is the reasoning that Slack prefers propulsion over combat burst?
I feel like it's all just personal preference. I mean, just how you kind of play, right? I mean, I know Sinful, he's never been really a fan of the whole jetpack side of Call of Duty using the thrusters and stuff like that. Combat Burst is going to be able to get at each kill. You're going to get that little bit of a speed boost, which can be beneficial to you in Search and Destroy, can get you out of some sticky situations. But then if you're slacked, right, he's one of those players who utilizes those wall runs. He'll hit them high. He's not really known for it, but it's just sort of one of those things, like if you're pushing for a strat and you're trying to go 2 versus 1, he's going to hit the high wall run, and it's just going to give you such a big advantage when it comes to spot checking as well. So, I mean, you can kind of see the both on both sides. There's really no negative or positive to, no negative to picking either one that they did. So 5 seconds remaining as the players get their classes set up. But, I mean, other than that, we're just going to see, as usual, the big 3 that's going to come into play in this Search and Destroy. Have to ask you for your prediction on this one. We've seen Allegiance all weekend long in Search and Destroy. Haven't seen too much of Luminosity other than from what I see from against Evil Geniuses, but who do you think is going to take this one?
Well, in this previous matchup, we actually saw that ALG was able to beat Luminosity Gaming. I think that they learned from that experience. I think that we should expect to see Luminosity really come out firing here and close out this map against ALG. I'm interested to see just what Combat Burst does for Sinful here, if he plans on just, using that extra movement speed to get away after a quick kill, and how that influences his game mode, or influences his play in this game mode, excuse me. So we're going to see him pushing towards Bridge, not seeing too much action just yet. If he would have pushed a little bit further, he would have been in the line of sight of Classic. The first blood, though, going in favor of Luminosity. 3 players dropping just like that so easily. A team kill coming in from the likes of Moach. So now it's all up to Remy in a 1 versus 3. He finds the engagement on Classic, who didn't expect him to be sitting there pre-aiming, and there's the follow-up. The trade comes in. LG closes out round 1.
Yeah, they definitely do a picture-perfect round for the side of Luminosity Gaming. Classic was the one to draw the first blood, and you're going to see Octane getting the nice little finish here. Very, very lethal with that NV4 in hand. So a good start for the side of Luminosity. The team kill did come in there from the side of ALG with Mochilla taking out Sinful, so that definitely affected them. So moving into the second round, let's see what ALG is going to be able to do on offense. Mochilla is going to be your bomb carrier. Looks like they're going to be favoring this A site.
Moach is going to be the front line here. Also, the bomb carrier doesn't want to get too close to these cars in case they do blow up, leaving that bomb in an advantageous position. But no one throws grenades. Royalty and Moach take full advantage of that, pushing up on the bridge for free, essentially, and finding those kills. Saints here hoping to clean up this error, find themselves some kills. He finds one, tosses a nade just to spot check, and he tags one up. So now Saints is trying to play off of that information, being so heavily outnumbered. It's going to be difficult. He wins the first engagement, 1 in front of him, 1 behind him. That's an easy crossfire, and Allegiance is going to take round number 2.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be hard to win that one. There's one player sitting back there in the grass in the wall run, as you can see through the x-ray. Either way, he was kind of screwed. Just going to get pinched in there by Remy and Sinful. So nice cleanup there by the players from Allegiance. Going to be able to get the bomb plant down, get some points, and now it's tied up 1-1. So let's see if we're going to see the similar break that we saw from Luminosity to start off this one. Slacked currently 0-2. See if he's going to be able to kick anything up into high gear. Pull up the big mini-map real quick. You're going to see a 3 stack and a 1 in bedroom. So the player going into Bike Shop is going to have his hands full, and that is going to be Saints. He's going to be able to find 1, which is going to be Royalty. One more player going to be right outside to his right. That's going to be...
When he just pushes through, he doesn't care. He just runs straight through it. He knows he has the support of Classic and Slack, who are all able to find the other kills for him. So everyone just watching the lane they needed to watch, forcing Allegiance back with that pressure, and it pays off in a big way. You can see Slack coming down from plat, hops right into the bedroom, easy hip fire to finish him off. The team shot there, he had some damage previously from the likes of Classic. So again, just the coordination of that push is what was able to have Luminosity win that round.
Definitely is. Going into this next round, we'll see if Allegiance decides to stick to the same game plan or switch it up. Looks like they're going to be going for the traditional B hit here. It's only going to be 1 player from the side of Luminosity going to be sitting on that top stairs, so not getting very aggressive on defense, but something you need to keep an eye on is these players over at A. You see one already hitting the wall run, one's going to be following up immediately, so they're going to be coming around all the way, just trying to be patient. That player at top steps is Saints. He's just going to sit here and wait until these players at the back get into position, then they'll start to get a pinch on the site once that bomb goes down.
One player just at the top of the stairs, that's Saints. He knows he just had to let them plant. There was no way he was going to kill the bomb carrier and get out alive. It would just be a waste. So he's going to wait for his team to come over, set up for the pinch. The play is unfolding. Sinful and Moch find a kill, only one in favor of Luminosity so far. The car blows up. That's Remy, who's able to take down Octane with it. Seems like Luminosity just ignoring these cars and letting them blow up in their face quite a bit here.
Maybe you'd like to see some trophy systems being brought up from the side of Luminosity, but we saw Saints again left last alive, not going to be able to come out on top once more. Royalty going to be cleaning him up. 2-2 has the makings for a round 11 if it keeps on going the way that it is. So we'll see if they're going to be able to turn it around here. I'm not sure if I've really seen many trophy systems coming out from any side thus far.
I think it's more they just need to understand that these cars are hazards. They can't just stand behind them, especially when everyone still has their lethals up. Just an easy explosion waiting to happen, and without blast shield, you're going to find yourself taken down pretty easily or just tagged up. 3 versus 3. Bomb down, though. Sinful's 2-piece is huge for the momentum of Allegiance in this round. He's also 2 or 3 kills maybe away from having that rewind. Octane responds with 1 on the Moch. Now, we see Sinful trying to play here around Lower Market Street. Not too much action going on near him, though. Just a 2 versus 2 situation, but both teams just kind of trying to get a feel for where the enemy is at. Seems like they're all just kind of clueless at the moment.
They definitely are. You said Sinful is going to be positioned here in the bike shop. He's going to have an eye on anybody who does jump down from the stairs. You can see through the x-ray. There should be a player crossing over in his sights, and he's just going to snap him. Get the nice shots there on Classic, and now a 1 versus 2 situation for Octane. Let's see what he's going to be able to do here. Just pre-aiming this bike shop area, waiting for his teammate to get in position on the platform. Octane has been spotted. Octane has been killed. It's going to be 3-2 in favor of Allegiance.
Very well played on the side of Allegiance. They were so far apart, but neither of them wanted to risk running out in the open or giving up a bomb site to go and get to the other players. So Sinful decides to play for the pick, waits patiently, catches one off guard, combat bursts his way out of the garage, and ends up benefiting them greatly as they then just collapse on that 2 versus 1 situation and see themselves come out with a round win.
And they definitely do. Let's see if they can carry this momentum into the offense. This time it's going to be Royalty picking up the bomb. He's going to be running the blackout grenade, something you don't see a whole lot of. Usually it's a jammer along with that flechette. So let's see what they're going to be able to do. A little bit of a slow push. One teammate getting aggressive. That's going to be Sinful going towards the plat. Getting very, very close to that rewind. Also 300 off of that Trinity rocket.
So you've seen a little bit of diversity in these setups here going towards the B site. Earlier we saw, I think it was Allegiance take 3 down the staircase and 1 in the bedroom. Now we're seeing LG kind of playing further back and allowing Allegiance to get that bomb plan down. So we'll have to see if they can execute on the retake, because now it's 2 versus 4. They still have to defuse. Octane's in position, tags up 1 player, Slack finishes the job, but they're still working at a disadvantage in terms of players that are alive. And with Sinful being able to take down Slack, who, by the way, Sinful playing great in this S&D so far, that's going to be tough to respond to. Allegiance takes yet another round to lead 4-2.
Yeah, definitely been having a great performance thus far. Getting very close to that rewind. Royalty once again going to be in your final kill cam. Octane trying to come around on the flank. The flank so far not working so well for the side of Luminosity. Sending 2 players there each time, just trying to play for trades, but hasn't really been working out. So now Sinful is going to have that rewind, so I'm going to be interested to see maybe how he works this, maybe gets into a gunfight or tries to push forward to try to gather some intel and then bring himself backwards. Saints going to be the bomb carrier pushing into this lower shop side. They're going to send 2 into lobby. There's 1 positioned in bedroom, 1 in market, and then 1 in that back grave area. So Octane just kind of being a distraction right here, maybe to try to shift their momentum over to A so they can get the bomb down on B. That is exactly what Saints is going to do, but First Blood going to go in favor of Allegiance, and straight after that First Blood, they pick up another one. Can Saints turn and get the pickup on Royalty? No, he's not going to be able to. Octane going to be left alive once more.
Octane playing around curve here. He spotted 1 player on the opposite end of the hallway, but he feels a pinch coming on here. I don't think that he wants to just sit there and be so predictable and get taken out. So he's going to go ahead and relocate. Currently in a 1 versus 4. It's going to be really difficult being so heavily outnumbered. They find him, swarm him, shut him down. Allegiance takes yet another map. And here, I was expecting Luminosity to have a sizable lead like this one, but Allegiance, really we're seeing an awesome performance out of the likes of Sinful. Great coordination out of him, Remy, and Moch. And look, a little bit of salt on the wound, throwing the grenade there at the end. Just
it's the second time he's done that now. But So you do look, things are looking very good for Allegiance to try to close this out in this one. Royalty's going to have the overdrive, Sinful's going to have that rewind, and then just 1 kill away is Remy, or just a point away from getting that reactive armor, and Mochilla is also close to his camo as well. So things are looking good for Allegiance, like I said, to close this one out. But let's see what they're going to be able to do. Sinful draws first blood again, having a monster of a game. Royalty going to go ahead, pop that overdrive. Is he going to be able to pick up another kill? Yes, he does. That's 2 for him in this round. Going to spot one more player on top tank, and Allegiance going to take this search and destroy very convincingly.
That's going to be map number 2 there, guys. Allegiance, there was no point in time throughout this game where it didn't look like Allegiance was going to close it out. They were well composed, working together very effectively, and just completely outclassed LG on this map.
They definitely did, so Uplink is going to be coming up next, and I definitely feel like we have to say Luminosity Gaming is going to have the big favor coming into this one. We know how strong an Uplink team they can be. The past couple matches that I've seen Luminosity play in Uplink, they've absolutely thrashed any team that they've played, so just a very well-structured all-around Uplink team. They're very, very confident in that game type, but like we said, Allegiance has been doing very good all weekend long as well.
And Luminosity, with this roster change of picking up Saints, I think that it's pretty clear that they were already great at Respawn, right? With the likes of Looney. They were already amazing at Hardpoint and Uplink. But one weakness that they gained was just they gained a little bit more vulnerability in Search and Destroy with this trade. And that's fine. You know, every player has their trade-offs and everything. That could just be something that they work on, or it could be something that goes unanswered. But I think that, especially in a series like this, you can see just how crucial it can be. Now you're all tied up in the series, but I think that most of us would agree Luminosity is the favorite in this. You would expect them to just be up top with no chance of ALG coming back, but they certainly came to play this weekend. I think that ALG should continue to expect to take these S&Ds, but they need to hope to steal a respawn off of LG, because that is their strength, that is their win factor. Yeah,
and it's definitely going to be a big thing for them right now. If they're going to be able to take this one, the whole series can just completely sway into their favor. They have the momentum coming off of that Search and Destroy. Now they just need to carry it over to this. The rig draft is coming into play. Mirror matchup all around. So for this one, like we said, I think we're going to favor Luminosity. We just can't, at this point, count Allegiance out of anything. They're a team that coming into this weekend, they were kind of silent. We didn't really talk about them. The main talk has really just been about, is Optic Gaming going to show up? Is FaZe Clan going to win the event? Is Luminosity going to place in the top 3? Stuff like that. You never really heard Allegiance coming into this event, but they're making their name known now.
Oh yeah, they were definitely the underdog, but they're proving everyone wrong and shutting everyone up by making it to the top of their groups on multiple occasions, making it to Championship Sunday, putting up a good showing, and well, you know, more exploiting the weaknesses of LG in Search and Destroy here. But still, I'm just impressed by the likes of Mulch's individual performance and how consistent that is. Sinful's contributions to the team, now that he's given another opportunity in the top, on one of these top sort of pro rosters, or, well, you know, I wouldn't say top, but just, you get what I'm saying, on one of these pro rosters. I think they're looking pretty good right now. This is definitely a strong team. This is a strong weekend for them. Speaking of strong weekends, though, MLG Vegas has been an awesome event to attend. It's been a great event to be a part of. Really great, just environment and sort of feel in the venue overall, especially when Optic Gaming and E6 were playing earlier. You could just really feel the emotion in the crowd. Lots of cheering going back and forth on both sides. Of course, we got the G Fuel booth, the Scuff Gaming booth, sponsors of the event. Quick shout out to them and what they've contributed to make it all happen.
Going back to the Optic Gaming E6 matchup, as one of the cameras that we could see was pointing out to the crowd, you just see a sea of green wall fans, and there's this one Enigma 6 fan just in the middle.
But he was loud enough to account for all of them.
Oh, yeah, he's loud. He's sitting there, he's talking to the Optic fans in the crowd and stuff like that, cheering them, giving them all that support. But right now we are heading into
I'm sure it was nothing but, you know, great, kind words being exchanged between them.
I just see him on the camera. They zoom in on him. He has his arms up. He's yelling and stuff like that. But Optic Gaming actually ended up getting their revenge.
I'm sure it was a mature, responsible debate on both sides. They probably made some real progress in their relationship, I think.
So it's going to be Luminosity Gaming Allegiance here. If you guys are just tuning in, it's going to be Throwback Uplink is map number 3 series, currently tied 1-1. We're going to watch Octane off the start.
All right, so Octane starting things off here. Expect to see him do some damage to the MV4 in this power position, but no, he's actually going to lose the engagement to Moch, who I mentioned is going to be a dangerous threat for that Allegiance roster in these respawn game modes. They're going to need that pressure to keep up with the Slang and the likes of Classic right now, who's been pretty strong, and Saints, the most recent pickup for this roster. Definitely the strongest there. So, pretty slow start here. No team really gaining a huge advantage over the other. They're just trying to posture up, spot the weakness of the enemy team and exploit it. There really is just lots of trading going back and forth in the middle of the map here for the first 40 seconds.
Yeah, basically the biggest thing what you're going to see from the side of Luminosity is just going to be Classic and Saints. They're always going to be the players that are going to be pushed up into that enemy base, trying to slay out, leading the charge for the team. But right now you see a defensive stop trying to come in here from the side of Luminosity. Saints not going to be able to come out on top of that gunfight. It's going to be sinful, but it will immediately be traded out. Now Mochilla is going to be left up last alive. Now he just needs to just play this drone area, just try to hold off the LG onslaught as long as his teammates can come back.
Royalty playing over towards Bike Path. Let's see what he can do towards mid-map. One player top Soda. He's going to tag him up a little bit. Not able to finish the job, so he's going to back down and try to avoid being traded here. But there it is. Shortly after he's taken down, Octane with the two-piece. Still staying alive on Lemon. This is exactly where you want Octane on offense here. You want him being a huge threat, watching those cuts, escorting any sort of objective play that might come up to him. One more player in front of him, not going to win that one with the MV4. Remy's going to get the better of him, so now Slack has no support. It looks like he might try and set up for a one-point play here, though. Someone's got to be in range to intercept it. There's the play, still sinks it in. That's 1 point for Luminosity Gaming.
It definitely is. I mean, Octane right there, we saw he was in a power position, pushed through Grannies with the MV4, not the smartest decision making to try to make that one happen, but they got a point out of it. That's all that matters. You can thank Slack for that one, getting the nice toss in. So 2 players down for the side of Allegiance, make that 3. Let's see if Luminosity is going to be able to capitalize on this one. Classic is going to drop the drone. He's actually going to be taken out there by Remy, so picking up a nice 2-piece to halt this LG push. Going to pick up another one on bridge just for show. The drone's still going to be down. Look for Sinful maybe to try to pick it up and throw it for yards, but they're favoring this bowling side as always with the defense coming in, stacking over on bowling for Luminosity.
Octane's going to pull the headshot onto Remy. They're just trying to clear out their base right now, and Saints and Octane are able to do so. Now, expect to see them push up all towards Bike Path and mid. That's really where you want to hover around when you have that drone. There's not really too much of a reason to give too much attention to Barn and Blue unless your attention is forcing the enemy spawns to that side of the map, because it's not where you want to be. Allegiance, though, they're able to stop that offensive play, push up towards Bike Path. They got one player to answer to, though. That's Classic, who's sitting on bus stop, and that's where you want to be if you're Allegiance. However, looks like they're all sort of hovering and gravitating towards middle map, which is fine because they could also hit that cut through skinny towards the statue to score. It looks like that might be the play here. Moch, though, gets caught reloading. Sinful, excuse me. Remy with the drone. Sinks the 1-point play. Tied up as Saints also team kills Octane after killing Moch.
Yep, and Remy's just going to be sitting here in the base, just trying to be a nuisance, but Saints is going to be able to clean him up. Player to watch right now is going to be Royalty. How well can he hold this middle map position? It's going to be a couple players pushing the full chats coming in. Saints going to pick up the drone, just toss it over to the side, but it's not really going to go anywhere. You see it just sit in the middle of the tracks, going to push up into green, going to be taken out by the hands of Mochilla. Mochilla's starting to get things heated up again. Like we brought up in the hardpoint, nobody from the side of Allegiance using an NV4 in a respawn game mode. They're going to pull out an NV4 here, and it's starting to show how much they're able to compete with Luminosity.
Moch position top Sodi. He's going to win the close range engagement with the NV4 against Saints. It doesn't even look like Saints is able to get a shot onto him. 3 kills going in favor of Allegiance. Dirk, it looks like we're seeing a 3-man push towards bowling. One in the corner, though, that's Octane. That's the exact position, again, you want Octane to be in. It seems like he doesn't have a foot out of place, and he's able to find himself a kill. Still, though, the pressure coming in from Allegiance is going to reward them with a dunk. And now that forces Luminosity to spawn out blue side, and they have to overextend through mid or flank through underpass, and that's what you're seeing on the mini-map in the top left corner. They come through mid, gunning Remy as he was outnumbered there. Moch is able to find 2 kills. LG, though, responding accordingly from that overextension. They're able to come out on top with the kills and drone possession.
Allegiance definitely could have picked up that drone, threw it to the underpass, and then they could have got another score from that one, but it was just a little bit of hesitation. Do we go pick it up and just kind of turn our backs and hope that they don't come, or are we just going to sit there and just fight them head to head? So that's one of the biggest things, but they still were able to get 2 points from that whole setup. It was looking nice, but this is where the leadership comes from the side of Luminosity and that uplink experience, just deciding we're all going to overextend, nobody wrap back. Doesn't matter if we give up a point, we'll get it back at some point in time. They are down by 2. They might be able to get a 1-point toss here just to kind of narrow the gap a little bit. It's going to be Slack going over top, following the drone. It's not going to go in, so 3-1 in favor of Allegiance.
Yeah, and so far, I think that it's a pretty evenly matched uplink that we've seen so far. It's not really huge in either team's way. We said that the favorites of this matchup were definitely going to be Luminosity Gaming, and they're still trailing by 2. There's still 5 minutes of uplink to be played. They got plenty of time to close that gap and come out on top, or maybe force the overtime. Plenty of time to work with here. So if you're Luminosity Gaming, Dirk, what are you looking for them to do to close out this match? Come back and close out this match.
You're going to need Saints and Classic to start to go off. Like I said, they're going to be the players being the bulls for this squad. They're going to be the ones pushing forward. They're going to be the ones clearing out the base, and that's what they need to do. But Allegiance is just doing such an excellent job of countering it with Sinful and Remy. It's been like that time and time again. Mochilla and Octane, identical in the NV4 battles, technically. I mean, if you want to look at it like that, they're both putting themselves in such good positions. I mean, you gave such high praise to Mochilla. Octane, another player who needs no introduction when it comes to using the AR. So they've just been kind of going neck and neck, but that's something from Luminosity. If they want to have success in uplink, you're going to need big games from Classic and Saints.
So Slack understands there's two players just around the corner inside bowling. That's exactly where Allegiance wants to be, is around that area on the defense. But look, remember last time we saw Octane in position right in front of him to stop the drone. No one was there this time, but it was Royalty, but he was too late. The 1-point play goes in. Luminosity starting to claw their way back into this game.
Yep, and this bridge side going to be the major point to try to hold on this map. Remy going to be able to take out Slack as there are two players from Allegiance pushing there. Drone still positioned in the middle of the map. One pushed all the way forward. That's going to be Sinful, trying to get very aggressive. So look for the attack for Allegiance maybe to happen soon, and you're going to see Royalty pick up the drone. Let's see what they're going to be able to make of this one. Favoring, trying to push through grannies. Slack's going to be on the other end, but Remy's going to come out on top, and he's been winning so many key gunfights to try to get these breaks for Allegiance. Drone going to be tossed, not going to be able to make it. The defense going to be coming in great from Luminosity.
So we got Luminosity opting to take that drone on the turnover on towards Barn and Blue. They're not going to take it to mid. They're not going to reset it. They're going to take it to the least advantageous route to take it, but I think they're more just trying to maybe waste some time, get their team set up back on mid. Engagement's going down, trades back and forth. Octane, though, is going to take control of that drone, reset it, try and keep it alive. And they're actually going to force this. They're going to force this and try and find a point from this blue push. Octane's going to need some help if that's what they're trying to do, though. Looks like he's outnumbered, outmanned, and outgunned.
Yep. Going to be Slack getting very aggressive. Does have that rewind to work with here. We'll see if he decides to pop it. He's not going to. The player jumps out of bounds, quickly jumping back inside. Now, something to keep in mind. We always talk about an uplink. It's going to be the active camo player, and it's going to be the overdrive player. It's going to be one of the biggest things about this game mode, where it completely can change, like turn the tide for you. Octane getting very close to that overdrive. Royalty has an overdrive of his own, so you can maybe see some quick scores from here. It's just going to be the goal. As soon as you see that payload get active on the player on your team, you want the drone in their hands.
Sinful finds the engagement onto Classic. Wants to get in a favorable position, but he knows he's still outnumbered. He's able to find two before he falls. Saints try to keep the pressure up on that side of the map, and now we're seeing a Luminosity Gaming push, a 3-man hit on Bike Path. If you take a look at your mini-map in the top left corner, still not too much progress. I think they're just waiting for the next wave of Allegiance players, but Allegiance doesn't look like they're pushing in the slightest. They're kind of all just hanging back in their base. You got player 4, that's going to be Remy, hiding in bowling alley, just waiting to try and catch someone off guard. That he does. He catches Saints, and he shuts down Octane. Huge, huge defensive play out of Remy there, and the patience of him paid off. I was going to say it wore off. I don't know what I was doing there, but it paid off for him in a big way, because now we see that Allegiance has control of the drone and they have pressure on Bike Path.
Like I said, it's been the story of this game. Remy's been able to come up with big two pieces and so many stops to try to help the team. But something I do like about the side of Luminosity, they're taking their time. Though they're down just 1 point, they're not really trying to rush things. They're just playing their own game. But now we're getting to the 1-minute 25-second mark of the game. They really they need to start kicking it into high gear, and I think they're just waiting on Octane to try to get this overdrive. He should be able to pick up a kill here if he does play his range with the NV4 and could try to make something happen, but it's going to be Allegiance on the attack once again. Drone is going to be dropped. It's going to be one player left at home to try to play defense. Octane's going to come back to help, but now that overdrive is ready, so if they can get these big kills here, they might have been able to make something happen, but the two players pushing from the side of Allegiance, it's going to be Sinful leading the charge of Remy.
It's also odd that Octane's going to be the one rocking that overdrive. I feel like I'd rather have that in the hands of someone like Slack, Saints, or really anyone else, Classic even, right? But we'll just see what he can do with that extra mobility, even though he's not really known for how much he can move. 1 point goes on the board. Allegiance making that lead even steeper with just 40 seconds left to work with. LG has 35 seconds to score at least 2 points and force overtime. Otherwise, ALG's taking 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, but it's definitely looking like it might be going into Allegiance's favor right now. Classic going to be left up last alive. It's going to be crucial to get this kill. Remy already hitting the pre-find. Remy's been having such a big uplink game, and that should be it. They are down by 3. They need to get a big rally going here. I mean, we haven't even seen Octane pull out the overdrive yet, and we still haven't seen the camo come into play from Classic. And like I said, when you need players who need to slay to get those payloads, they need to have a big game, and that's not what you got from Classic. In this one, they're going to be able to get a dunk here, but this this, it's not going to do much for them. Final score is going to be 5-4, and Allegiance is going to go up 2-1.
So there it is. As you see, Luminosity Gaming unable to really get too much going on that second half up until this last few seconds. So just a disappointing second half for them. I mean, we just kind of saw Allegiance on their defensive plays trumping anything Luminosity was trying to do. There was a play that took quite some time to develop. It was on that blue side. Octane was trying to keep the drone alive, stay alive in top blue, and really just be a threat at long range. But the help that he got from Slack was just a little too late. Nothing came from that play, which probably took the most of their time on the second half. And Allegiance is able to come out on top here. So it's going to be a 2-1 series lead. As you can see on your screen here, we got our schedule up. Luminosity Gaming currently in their second game in a row, coming off of that 3-0 victory against Evil Geniuses. They now find themselves down 1-2 in fear of getting knocked out of the tournament by Allegiance, who previously in the tournament beat them.
Yeah, I mean, so they're searching for vengeance in this one, and we're going to be heading into Hardpoint on Breakout. I feel like this one could come right down to the wire. I don't expect that big of a blowout coming into this one. I definitely expect to just see a Mochila Octane battle, and it's just going to be who can outslay. Can Remy continue that performance that he had in that uplink going into this one? Because that's something that we don't see too much of Remy. We know he's capable of having these big-time performances occasionally, but he had one in that uplink. I mean, it wasn't anything super flashy like getting these turn-ons or getting 3 kills in a row, stuff like that. He was able to pick up crucial 2 pieces. A lot of the kills that he had were able to completely open up the floor for Allegiance to basically do whatever they wanted in that uplink, but he also had a lot of defensive stops too, so we'll have to see if Remy can carry that one over.
So if you're just tuning in, I'm Fox. I'm joined here by Dirk. We are watching Team Allegiance against Luminosity Gaming. We just saw the conclusion of map number 3. Map 1 was the hard point. That is the game that went in favor of Luminosity. We just saw how strong they could slay as a unit. All 4 of them just clicking, just really firing. It was kind of surprising, though, because of how well Allegiance was able to play that barn hardpoint, but it wasn't enough. They couldn't remain consistent throughout the rest of the hills on that map, and LG was able to shut it down. Then moving into Search and Destroy, Allegiance completely outclasses Luminosity on that retaliation S&D. Great kills coming in from Sinful, the likes of Mochila, and really that's been the story, is just these 2 on every map. They've been contributing as much as they can, and we saw it in the uplink as well. So now, getting into our second hardpoint in this best-of-5 series, do we see Luminosity take the second hardpoint just like they did in the first, or do we see Allegiance, again, surprise them, upset them, beat them 2 times in a row in this grudge match, in this tournament?
I think it's just going to be the biggest thing is if we're going to see any changes from Allegiance in the hardpoint in terms of the weapon uses. Like we said, the first hardpoint that we saw, we didn't see any NV4 play come out from the side of Allegiance. They bring it out on the same map, but in a different game mode. They have a lot of success with it. So, I mean, this is one of the maps where an NV4, I would say, it's not 100% needed, but it can still benefit you greatly. Playing those long lines of sights, especially in cell blocks, holding that top hill, getting that map positioning as well, playing the back helipad area. So that's just something we're going to see to bring out. We know it's going to come out on the side of Luminosity, but will it come out on the side of Allegiance is the question.
Well, we're 100% going to, I think, see an NV4 on the first hard point. I think that's, I feel like it's a little just irresponsible if you're not running at least one NV4 on your side. I think that it's a huge advantage to pass up on that hard point as some sort of a long-range weapon. We saw Elevate going as far as just running a sniper and using smokes, and it worked out for him. Sadly, the rest of his team couldn't follow up on that opening push, but you get what I'm saying. Just that engagement of those sort of backline ARs, you really benefit from using the NV4 over the K-bar in most situations. As far as the rest of the team, you know, OSAs, K-bars, wherever you need it. But I think that staple of having at least one NV4 on some of these hills can really benefit a team on breakout hardpoint.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to come down to the communication. Like I said, cell block, putting the MV4 player in the hill can be so beneficial to you, even in the pit one, too. If you have him set up on the chest high cover, I'm just going to call it the yellow bulldozer. If you have him set there just watching the security room, it can benefit you greatly as well. So it's just going to be all about communication, rotating out the players inside of the hill and making sure you're covering all those choke points as well. Because I know a lot of players tend to have that MV4 player who might be back in the position of the anchor, might come inside of the hill, then he starts to focus on that wall run, because that's how beneficial it is to you, right? It's going to be so hard if you're hitting from the shower side, trying to get to the wall run, just trying to flood in if there's an NV4 player on the receiving end when you get there too. So just look for that. I feel like that's going to be a big part. And like we said, it's going to be a battle of Octane and Mochila. Obviously, we give the advantage to Octane, but Mochila has been showing some glimpses of greatness so far in this tournament.
Trying to think about how just how powerless you might feel on this new hardpoint. For those of you guys that might not know, breakout hardpoint has seen a patch recently to change the first hard point in the middle of the map. So standing out in that opening right there, we were just talking about a lot of the teamwork and everything and the coordination required to sort of push a lot of these hills. When you get in that hill, you are a sitting duck, right? You were just way out in the open, and you just hope to God that someone else acts as bait for a second so you can peek around the corner, pop a few shots off, and then just duck right back into cover because you are the highest priority target on the map if you poke out of cover on the hill, right? There's so many open lines of sights to take you down. You just got to sit behind and hug that wall, and it's such a difficult spot to be in.
Yeah, and one of the big things on this too, the team that starts off on that helipad side, they're going to be the one that you kind of want to watch. A lot of players and teams really like to play on that side. Then obviously when the time is right, they start to push forward and flip the spawns over. But you're probably going to see, I believe it's probably going to be Saints push straight through. He might actually go Docs, but I would say either Saints or Classic are going to push up onto the hill. They're just going to sit in a corner, and that's all they're going to do while their teammates slay out. It's just so much of an advantage coming from that side because you're going to make them spawn all the way in back garage. Now the players have to try to make a decision. Do we want to flood through stairs, or are we going to come down the mid-street and try to make something happen too? So it's just so much easier to hold attacking from that side. But like I said, it just gets to that point is when you need to rotate. But you can always, if you have that map control, you can utilize the wall run. You can go all the way around too, so it can benefit you greatly. We're going to see the same rig setups that we saw in the first hardpoint. Octane is going to be going with the FTL jump. Actually, no, we're not seeing the same one. He's using the FTL jump in a respawn. Yeah,
interesting choice there from Octane. It seems like his choices of payload kind of contradicts his play style. You know, he's not really someone that is known for having crazy amounts of movement and jumping all over the place and really getting in your face, but still in uplink he runs overdrive, and then in the second hard point he's running FTL jump for that, you know, extra blink forward. It's just really odd to see that coming from him, but we'll see how he incorporates it into his role for this team. I'm sure that this is something they've worked out before. It's definitely not going to be a last-second decision.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much of the FTL jump, much success. I mean, I really haven't seen it used because it's just all about a timing thing, right? You can see the payload thing just all of a sudden go from blinking blue, gold, and then just completely just go away. So it's kind of hard to catch him. You just have to kind of be locked onto Octane majority of the time if you want to see him use it. So maybe when he starts to build it up, we'll hop on board with him and then see what he's going to be able to do. But Allegiance, one more map away from taking this over Luminosity and eliminating them from MLG Vegas, and then it'll be Allegiance moving forward, a team that, like we keep on saying, nobody really talked about, nobody hyped up coming into this event.
So the countdown begins. Let's see where the MV4s are at on both sides. Expect to see them in the hands of Moch and Octane, and that we do. I don't see. Can we flip through and see if we see any trophy systems or any sort of utility like that?
Only fletchets.
Yeah, just the shack grenades. Not seeing too many tacticals of any kind, like stuns or anything like that. But let's see how Moch decides to play this one out. So he's not actually going to go up top security. He's going to opt to go into loading for this opening engagement. No one's at home, though. He's not going to see too much action. Royalty and Remy are able to find the first two engagements for his team. One player hitting that long wall run. There we go. Finally seeing some work here done. But Slack is able to do more work, find that two-piece. Royalty comes through with the trade. Octane again taking down Royalty. So just good responsiveness from Luminosity so far. As you can see, Remy kills Saints, but then of course Classic is right there to answer. Still an evenly matched game, no team really gaining a lead over the other.
Yeah, and that kill on Classic right there is kind of going to open things up for Allegiance. It kind of takes away another choke point that you can go through in that loading dock area. You're just going to see Octane sitting into the hill. And it's the same story that we saw in the first hard point. He's always getting off to such a hot start. Starting this one off 4-1, going to have the hill time, a majority of it for the side of Luminosity Gaming. So let's see what they're going to be able to do here. Rotating through the cell block side is 2 seconds. So setup that they have right now is looking pretty good. He's going to have Slack. He's going to have the eyes on the wall run. There's going to be Saints sitting up by stairs trying to slay out anybody in the mid-map area. 2 players go down for Luminosity, but spawn should be going in their favor. They can get a lot of hill time off this one.
Closest one to the hard point on your mini-map, as you can see, is player number 2. That's Royalty, still getting swarmed and shut down by the likes of Classic. So now expect him to spawn out way over towards the cell block on the opposite side of the map, and that should allow Luminosity Gaming to milk quite a bit of time as the pressure is relieved. These pushes are just so ineffective and so inefficient and so scattered and just bad. Really, that's another good adjective to use to describe them. It's just not looking good. Luminosity should be able to get this full 60 pretty easily. As you can see, in the last 20 seconds, Allegiance is just going to give it up and rotate. There's one player sitting there that's just going to try and stop him on the rotation, but still he gets shut down. it looks like there's just no answer to the pressure and the strength of Luminosity Gaming and Respawn right now.
No, and it's kind of weird to see Octane with the most time so far in the game, but like we said, the MV4 can be very beneficial to you. There's going to be one player trying to cut him off. Slack actually heating up right there. Didn't really expect that. Fully streaked out on a 7-kill streak. Make that 8. Currently 11-2, trying to keep the streak going. Will be taken out from behind by Remy. So far, Luminosity looking very, very good in this hardpoint, sort of similar to what we saw in the first hardpoint. Slack getting very close to getting his payload as well.
And see, that's what I mentioned like earlier when Slack, if he gets to his performance where he's just at peak condition, just performing the best that he can, Allegiance is not going to be able to respond to it. That's just going to be the end of the game right there. So if he can keep it up throughout the entirety of the map, there's no chance that they throw this one. So Streak's coming in. Slack not going to connect with a whole lot, but he's still serving as a disruptive nuisance to Allegiance. Now pushing into the hard point, just that player taking cover behind the hill is going to be really tough to take out. So he's going to have to back off, wait for his team to help him push. No, actually, Saint's going to jump in by himself. Classic tries to follow it up, and he fails as well. No one can take Royalty off of this chest-high cover. I need to see some grenades or something come in to flush him out.
Yeah, it's very underrated, the play that we saw from Slack there with the Trinity Rockets. I mean, it's such an open hill. All you have to do is just hover them in the air. It's going to cause the enemy team to either go into the security room or it's going to cause them to go into that back cave. So it's just those little plays that can really make a difference. We're on board with Classic right now. He's going to be pushing into the hill. He's going to be taken out by the hands of Sinful. Machilla now going to be ducking inside. Let's see if he's going to be able to take out this player on the wall run. That is going to be Octane. Octane going to come out on top on that one. Look for him to try to get in position. There's going to be one player right in front of him, in front of the turbine. His teammate Slack going to be there for the support.
All right, so Octane knows exactly where the pressure's coming from. He's just pre-aiming and waiting, trying to keep his distance, but now he's actually closing the gap, getting closer. It still benefits him, though, because he has the team shot. And now there comes the flank. Coming in from helipad, finds the first engagement. One more on the wall run, but he looks away just in time for him to get the better of him. Slack still fully streaked out. Well, missing his first one, as we saw. He called it in a little bit earlier. Should be getting right back onto the rotation here and being the warden of loading. But it looks like Allegiance is all set up there, so he's going to decide to go behind him. I think this is a really great play. Looks like Allegiance sniffed it out, though. They communicated it. He's waiting for him. Needs to win that engagement. That would have been huge if Slack got it, but he gets shut down. Now expect to see all the pieces fall into place for Allegiance, finding more engagement wins, and they're able to get some hill time here. Slack should use these score streaks here. A little bit of a late kind of response to do so, but he calls him in. Scorcher's coming in. 40 seconds left on the hill. They want to get some time out here. 2 kills going in favor of Luminosity. This might be their opportunity.
That's the thing with the first hill now, right? Since it's on top, streaks are actually going to be viable for that hill. It's going to cause them to get off that hill, maybe run inside of the mid-hut and try to make something happen. Their FTL jump is going to be ready for Octane, so we're just going to stay on board with him, see how he's going to opt to use this one. Like I said, it's kind of hard to think of a situation where it can come in handy. It can come for a quick break or trying to take an anchor out as well. So that's just going to be one of the things. But he's having a hell of a game so far, 14-9. He's been putting himself into such great positions for Luminosity. Slack also going to have his payload ready. He's going to have the rewind. Look for him to use that once he gets into sticky situations.
So we have Sinful just about a kill away from getting his rewind, as you said. We rotate over into this hard point. He's going to get that initial time, so now all he needs is really just an assist. He just needs to tag someone up, let someone else finish the job, and he can stay alive to fight another fight. This player just around the corner, though, that's going to give him some trouble. He reads that pinch immediately. He knows that if Classic isn't pushing, the pinch is coming in. He turns around, easy hip fire, pops the rewind, full magazine, and wins the original engagement. Sinful is just playing so well in this series. You can just see just these amazingly cerebral decisions coming from him. You can just watch the gears turning in his head.
And I'm happy for this guy. This is one of those guys like who is always posting on Twitter. He just wants to grind. He just wants a shot, and now he finally has it, and he's making the most of it. He's on a tear right now, currently on a 4-kill streak, trying to make it 5. He's going to be shut down by Classic. The flood of Luminosity players going to be coming in from the wall run. They're going to get the last 15 seconds of this hill. Remy going to be the player to rotate early, but he's going to have a Luminosity wall trying to come and take him down. That's exactly what's going to happen. Look for Octane to try to get into a power position right here to shut down the players pushing onto the bulldozer and into cave as well. He's going to be able to find one. Going to be one more pushing. His teammate's going to be there for the support just like that. Luminosity going to break the somewhat setup that Allegiance had when they rotated early and take control of this hill.
So this spot that Octane's in, you usually would want someone with an OSA or a K-bar sitting into it. So we'll have to see how this works out for them. It looks like the pressure's not even coming from that way, so it might actually end up being favorable to them. Pressure coming in from Cave, and Octane's in a much better position now. All you have to do is pepper them. I really wish we had a statistic to see like how much damage you've done to the enemy team here because of all the assists he's gotten alongside his massive amount of kills. Slack here heating up, double positive, 4 streak at the moment. Expect to see him get fully score streaked out again. We saw his Trinity Rocket come into play on this hard point last time, but it looks like he is the Trinity Rocket, keeping that pressure up, forcing them indoors. and they're not able to get any hill time. Luminosity just allowing that lead to continue piling on.
Yep, and if you're Allegiance, you need somebody to try to get into the hill more. You need somebody to give up that time, but now you look at this, Sinful going to be in a sticky situation. Like you said, it's the Luminosity game plan and hardpoint. They always double push stuff, and it's the smartest way to go about it. Works out 9 times out of 10. We're on board with Slacked right now. Let's see if he can continue this performance. Currently on a 5-kill streak. One going to peek out. He's going to be able to take out one. Can he take out the second? No, he looks away. Royalty going to be able to take him out there. Now has his overdrive ready as well. Spots a player in the back helipad. But like I said, nobody putting pressure on the hill. Nobody trying to get inside to contest. Now they finally do it. It's going to be Remy with the big break.
Octane still has access to that FTL jump. He's held on to it for like an entire rotation. And we haven't seen him in a position where he can actually use it. Loses that engagement up close. We've seen for this hard point, Allegiance was what they spent an overdrive, and that's really about it. Looks like Luminosity is close to getting 2 of their payloads, and Octane still has his from the previous rotation. Hill time going in favor of Luminosity. Allegiance on the next push for it. They're only sending 2 players though, and it looks like it's going to be unsuccessful as Classic takes them both. So now Octane sitting in the hard point for the new rotation. He's going to find himself in an engagement here soon because Allegiance should be swarming in for this, just like last time.
Yeah, Mochilla just going to be playing in the bottom to try to get the jump on Octane. He's got to know he's there, but Slacked is going to be there for the support. Octane trying to play the hill again. We see another 2-piece break from Remy. Just waiting for his teammates to come off of respawn. He's going to be able to find another one now. He needs to try to get inside to contest. That's exactly what he does, but we're going to see the bombardment coming in from the side of Luminosity Gaming, and it's going to be Slack getting close to dropping that 30 bomb. Has a lot of hill time, just doing it all from his team. Royalty going to be the player inside of the hill from Allegiance. It's going to be 11 seconds away from Luminosity taking this hard point, evening up the series, and then we'll be heading to a game 5 for Search and Destroy. But it's not over till the fat lady sings, and Allegiance is trying to claw their way back.
Royalty's in position, getting some kills on the Saints, some shots off on another player, but he's not able to make too much of it. Luminosity just way too strong right now. Octane playing a lot of objective this game, surprisingly, and he had an NV4 the whole time. He's really racking up some kills in the kill column alongside Slack, kind of just letting him do his thing. So that's going to be a great map from those two. I think Octane and Slack really contributed the most here for the side of Luminosity Gaming. It's still really weird to me, that payload choice for Octane. I feel like he could benefit from something else rather than using that FTL jump that he held on to for like 3 minutes straight. Still, regardless, he didn't even need it. We saw how strong Slack was able to be.
It's just confusing, right? Because you get the FTL jump. I mean, it's just kind of sitting there. You don't decide to use it. So could have went with something else, but then again, it wouldn't have made that much of an impact. I mean, usually what he runs is that Centurion, but he's going to opt to not go with that one. So it's going to be going to a game 5. Both teams fighting for their tournament lives here, and it's going to be Search and Destroy on Scorch. We love it, don't we, Fox?
Search and Destroy on Scorch, a lot of activity towards that B-bomb site, a lot of offensive plays towards that B-bomb site, and really it's your offensive rounds that are going to win you this game. Sometimes you got to be able to play the mind games, though, and head over to A site, even though it's just so damn difficult to do. You usually want to try and find yourself a first blood or pressure the enemy off of mid-map so that they can't see you rotate over. But even just the threat of hitting that A site is more than enough to sort of lighten up the defense that you're going to find on B site when you do try and go for that plan. So it's definitely a difficult map to play on in terms of like the amount of options that you have. You got to get as creative as you can with with the cards you're dealt.
Yeah, they definitely can. I mean, both of these teams are. It's probably maybe some nerves kicking in for a couple players. I would say probably more on the side of Allegiance than on the side of Luminosity Gaming. Luminosity Gaming guys, a lot of experience when it comes down to these big game moments. So it's going to be interesting to say the least to see how this does go. Search and Destroy and Scorch, like you said, you're just going to see a lot of B pushes. You're going to see a lot of trophy systems throw down, a lot of fletch grenades coming in on those attacks. You're going to see a lot of unorthodox defensive plays as well, a lot of flooding onto the B site just to try to go gun to gun with them. Sending a lot of people on the flank as well is also another option, but you're not going to see a whole lot of A hits. It's kind of hard to break into that when your only options are hitting a wall run where you can easily pick off the player once they land, or you're going to see somebody walking through the sky bridge, and that's going to be easy to pick them off as well.
So my thing here is, though, Dirk, this is a really scary moment if you're Luminosity Gaming. They have openly admitted and really just openly showed all weakness, their vulnerability, their weakness in Search and Destroy. For their tournament life to be on the line in this Game 5, that's terrifying.
Now, the FTL jump pick, again, from Octane. I could see it working out more on this map, just for the sake of if they do like a big B hit or something like that, he's going to be able to teleport forward, he's going to be able to get into that observation deck, or he's going to be able to get right on site, and essentially he might just be a little bit of a bait for the team. So that's something that can always work out well. It makes a lot more logical sense for this map over any other map, but it just depends. We know Octane's not an up-in-your-face type player. He's going to be more of a laid-back player. So it's just going to be kind of interesting to see how that one does go. Players getting their classes set, but on the side of Allegiance, everything just staying the same in the rig draft.
Yeah, so what we saw in the first Search and Destroy was the difference in the synaptic rigs on both sides. Slacked was the one that went with Rewind and Propulsion, going with that again. On the side of Allegiance, again, the thing that stands out is Rewind and Combat Burst. And it did pay off for Sinful in a big way throughout that Search and Destroy. He was able to find a kill, dip out of cover immediately with that movement speed bonus. And we're seeing him choose it here again. And that's going to be something that's really interesting because of how many engagements are going down on and around Drill, right? So I think that should be something huge for him in terms of his advantage. I'm also interested to see what the snipers are going to look like here. We've seen Moach pull up the sniper quite a bit on those opening engagements towards B site, where he'll just thrust jump in the air and just wait for someone to try and rush the site.
I mean, even just playing in back observation, too, and watching somebody try to peek out of security, you might be able to pick him off. I mean, especially with Mochilla, he's a very, very deadly sniper. I think yesterday me and Revan were over there talking to him, and he just says sniping's so easy in this game. Just give me a sniper.
That sounds like a very Moach thing to say.
I'm going to be able to take anybody out. Like, sniping's easy. So he might be able to bring it out on this one. The lines of sight do kind of get blocked, but like you said, you can kind of utilize those wall runs. And something that we've been seeing, I've seen Facento do it the most, is a mid-map. You can hit the wall run, you can peek over top of B and look right into Drill. And as expected, Mochilla going to be bringing out the longbow.
Yep, as predicted, here it is, Moach with the sniper rifle. And as you said, Mochilla feeling pretty confident in his ability. I don't think that's an issue that Moach has ever had. I think he's just a never-ending pool of confidence. I aspire to be more like this guy every day. He's got the Hornet as a secondary, that automatic secondary, automatic pistol. 20 bullets in the magazine. Should make him pretty deadly up close here. And like I said, he's going to hover towards these opening engagements around the B site. That is Drill, sitting inside back medic. He knows there's going to be someone that's going to peek this eventually. Haven't even checked this lane as of yet. Oh, look, baits it out with the shoulder pick. So smart to bait that shot out. Is he actually going to try and repeat this here? That's a really weird challenge. He still stays alive from it. He's just kind of calling his bluff there, trying to keep the pressure up, but that's pretty scary. You can get a little predictable there and get taken out.
Yeah, that's going to be Slack to being the player toying with Mochilla here. See how aggressive Allegiance got all over this B site, pushing Luminosity all the way back. I think at this point it might just be smart to try to rotate out and maybe try to get an A hit, but Slack's going to get the opening break here. Now a 3 versus 3 situation. Allegiance still standing their ground. Royalty going to be taking out Octane, so now Saints and Slack need to try to make some magic happen. Let's see what they're going to be able to do.
Saints here acting as bait, sliding out for the first engagement. He's going to attack up a player at a distance, and now I think he's going to try and attack the player inside medic. Averts his attention towards mid because he knows there's someone watching that cut, and then he backs off. The player inside medic is not able to go for this engagement. He didn't want to bother having to, fight 2 people in front of him when all he has is a Hornet. So that's just an instance where if Moach has an AR, I feel like that entire engagement goes completely differently.
Yeah, definitely so. Allegiance had such a good hold, but Luminosity broken again. You're seeing time and time again from the guys from Luminosity, constant 2 hits playing for those trades. They're going to take out Remy, and it looked like it was strongly going to go in Allegiance's favor, but the big thing that started that was Slack pushing out, picking up that big kill on the player behind box. So now it's going to be Luminosity going up 1-0. They're going to be on the defensive side. It's going to be interesting to see how they do end up attacking this defensive side. Saints picking up a big 3 kills in that one. Is 150 off a Scarab. Mochilla going to be the bomb carrier for Allegiance.
And previously in the old Allegiance roster, it was Exotic that was the bomb carrier, so we're seeing that role kind of changing throughout the way that this team operates here. Moach is able to find the first kill in the Classic. They're trading the first blood from Octane, but just that quickly. Luminosity Game is going to close out that round with an easy sweep through B site.
Luminosity says, you want to fight fire with fire? We got a bigger fire. They come in, you see Octane getting himself into nice position, being able to take out that player. And I mean, 2-0. Last time Luminosity was in the game 5 was against Evil Geniuses, and no, it was against, was it Splice?
Luminosity Gaming?
I don't think it was against, no, I'm thinking of a different thing.
I think I was actually casting during that series, so I didn't get to see it.
Oh, yeah, I got it mixed up. I was thinking of Hot 6-0, but I mean, Luminosity Gaming looking so strong so far. See what they're going to be able to do here. Trophy systems are going down. You've seen the 4 stack over by B once again. Player peeks out. Octane going to be one shot, decides to back up. Mochilla going to be taking out Royalty with a trophy system. That's something that's been happening a lot this weekend. They throw a trophy system down. It's been getting a lot of team kills and a lot of suicides. So you're starting to see players really not throw them down, maybe wait a little bit or throw them super far away. Sinful going to be picking up a huge 3-piece with the K-bar right there. He finally will be taken out. Mochilla going up against Sates. Mochilla going to come out on top. They're finally going to get a round on the board.
Yeah, so Sinful, we've seen some clutch kills from him in both Search and Destroys in this series already. I think that we can expect him to remain consistent throughout the rest of this map. He seems like he has a hot hand in this series, and he definitely wants this victory. You know, he wants to continue the dominance that ALG has had throughout this weekend, or at least not really the dominance, but just the prowess, the strength that they've had, the improvements that they've made. He wants to continue that going. Luminosity, though, on their worst game mode, hoping to keep their tournament life alive here against Allegiance. Let us know your predictions. Tweet me, I'm Fox or Dirk here with your hashtag MLG Vegas, and let us know who you think is going to come out on top here. Bomb going down right away. This is the quickest plant we've seen so far in this game. Let's see how Luminosity is able to play against it.
Evan Classic is going to pull out a longbow of his own. Going to have the Hornet in his back pocket. Going to go ahead and try to use that. Slacked and him working together. Going to be able to pick up that kill. Slacked finds another. Remy left last alive. Octane going to be able to pick that one off. That's going to be 3 rounds now for Luminosity. Slack does have his payload ready to go with a rewind. Octane slowly working towards his FTL jump as well. So like we said, Luminosity 3, Allegiance 1. Was a very, very quick bomb plant for Allegiance, just didn't work out.
LG's got to feel really good right now. This is the start that they needed. They already go into this game mode sort of accepting this is their weaker game mode, right? But they start off with this lead that's huge for them mentally. This should be the momentum they need to close out this map and this series. If we can just keep having Slack perform the way he is, that's perfectly fine, right?
Just quickly scroll through, and Saints does have his Scarab ready too. So maybe see if he pulls this one out. He's going to be the player watching that flank. They're going to completely give up the entire B site. It's going to be one player with eyes on it. That's going to be Remy. He's going to get the call out to his team. You can start to see one player coming around on the flank. That's going to be Sinful. So look for an engagement coming up here. Sinful and Saints. The Saints going to be able to spot him. Yes, he does. Able to get that trade. The rewind, I believe. No, there's a combat burst on the screen. I apologize. Actually coming up. So see what Classic is going to be able to do here. One shot, deciding to dip back. You see the players from Allegiance all lining up. Bomb site. It's open. He's just not going to be able to hop on it because they have such an easy sight onto that. Kill is going to be going down. Royalty takes out Classic.
Oh, this is really disappointing. Saints 1 versus 2. He has to kill this player right here and the bomb diffuser. He needs to get there quickly. Moch is almost done. He finishes the job. Luminosity Gaming. Saints is able to clutch it up for the team and end the round. Huge, huge win there coming in from Saints. Again, just continuing that momentum. His performance and Slack's combined performance is just too much for Allegiance to handle right now. We saw just how much Sinful's been able to do in this series in both S&Ds, but like I said, when Slack gets going, he's unmatched, and he's got the partnership of Saints doing the same thing. It's dangerous.
Calm, cool, and collected with Saints there in that 1 versus 2 situation. It's going to be Mochilla with the bomb once again. Looks like they're going to be playing mid. Pull up the mini-map so you can see the arrows everywhere. Trophy system does go down as well. Sinful is going to draw that first blood on Saints, so good. Shutting him down is going to stop him from working towards his Trinity rockets. And another kill comes down by Sinful once again. Sinful been having such a great series. It'd be so heartbreaking to see him lose this one. Picks up another kill, trying to go for the ace here. Last player to try to spot is Slacked. He might be able to finish him off. Shots are going to be traded. Bomb now planted over at A.
So Allegiance is able to get that bomb down. 4 versus 1 right now. It's all up to Slack. He went, whoa, whips a couple of shots there. Really difficult to hit those when you're airborne, but he had the height advantage. So you would really expect him to take that. However, that's not the case, as Moch is still able to gun him down. That's going to be a point on the board for the side of Allegiance.
See how this is going to change over here. Like we said, Saints, he does have the streaks. He's on such a hot start too. But like I said, the player I think we just kind of need to watch is Sinful. He's been doing such big things. I think he picked up his second 3-piece of the game so far, and just to search and destroy alone. So let's see how he does play this. The Plachette's going to be coming in from the side of Luminosity, going to be just crouching behind this drill site. Players are going to know he's there, has the support of his teammates, going to get hit with the jammer grenade as well. The Scarab is going to be coming into play, so we'll jump into the eyes of Saints to see what he's going to do. He spots Sinful right around the corner. He's going to go ahead and blow it up. Not going to be able to get anything from it, but the trades do come in. So now 3 versus 3 situation. Mochilla getting very, very close to this camo. 1 kill should do it for him.
Yeah, and he wants to stay alive for it too. He definitely doesn't want to give that away for free. This could be a huge momentum kind of moment in the round, a momentum swing within the round if he's able to get a kill and stay alive for it. and then find another one with the camo. So there it is, 2 kills going in favor of ALG. 1 versus 2 now. They're letting the lead slip. ALG's coming back into this game. Not only that, but Moch has access to his active camo. That could be huge for them to get another couple of kills. Luminosity needs to close it out. They're letting them come back. They're letting them creep right back into this match, Dirk.
Allegiance read that like a book. You saw the arrows from Luminosity start to rotate through hangar. Immediately you saw the players from ALG start to flood through middle map. All of them just kind of pinched them inside, leaving Octane by himself. Never going to win that situation.
Oh, Moch is about to get real aggressive. He's got the OSA. He's ready to, he's got the laser sight. He's ready to get in their face, spray them down with the bullet hose. He whiffs the wall run, gets spotted before he pops the camo, but still, that allows him to slip past the enemy team. They can't see him. The recently updated camo is so powerful, but still, Luminosity Gaming responds with 3 kills of their own. Octane and Classic, they're both up against Remy. They could, this would be huge for them. They burn so many payloads and they come out on top. Luminosity Gaming is 1 round away from ending the tournament life of Team Allegiance.
That was rough on Mochilla there. We saw the execution of it. He was able to pick up 1 kill. But active camo lasts so long. You're almost at a point where if you just tell your teammates just lie back a little bit, let them get super aggressive, you can burn the camo a little bit longer. He found himself in a situation where he could have got a 2-piece, but the player did the smart thing, crouched behind the boxes, was not able to hit him. Now Luminosity 1 round away from sending Allegiance home packing. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it this one. They have a lot of utility to work with. They're going to have the active camo for Classic, and he's going to go ahead and pop that, so we're going to stay on board with him. Let's see how he's going to play this flying high in the sky. It's going to be hard to see it when you're all the way up there, pushed all the way into observation. Is he going to be able to find one? Shaky shots coming in, and a turn-on's going to be coming in from Remy on Classic. No. The active camo is burned. Slack still does have the rewind. Let's see how this round is going to play out. They're able to find another kill. That's Sinful. Taking out Saints. Going to be 1 player right behind Slack. He's going to go ahead and utilize the rewind. Is he going to be able to find anything else? Nope, just doing his best and staying alive.
What just happened? They just choked the biggest lead, the biggest way they could start off that round. Both the camo gone and the rewind, and Slack almost failed for it. 2 versus 1, the bombs defused. That's embarrassing. That's tragic.
If Luminosity loses this match, you can blame that play with Classic. It was very, very shaky shots. Remy was able to just walk forward, jump, turn around, and do the nasty on Classic. That should have been legal. That was absolutely insane. 5-4. Luminosity just needs 1 round. They used both of their payloads in this one. Octane does have the FTL jump, but how good is that going to be? Does he have an OSA class in his pocket to maybe get a rush play in? We will see. So Allegiance needs to have something special drawn up. They're going to go for the A site, but look at this. Perfect read by Luminosity somehow, just by the luck of the draw. Complete A stack. It's going to come down to the gunfights. Octane taking out Sinful. Mochilla then takes out Octane. Complete trades going around the board. Now a 2 versus 2 situation. The players from Allegiance going to opt to back out, but leaving the bomb there on Skydeck. And now the players from Luminosity have to know that that bomb is down.
Here it is. Saints playing up in the aggression with the OSA. Yeah, they just run right by the bomb there. I don't think either of them were able to spot any of those bodies. They don't even want to bother wasting the time to check and risk getting caught out on some timing here. Royalty's going to tag up, try and get some shots on range, but he's tagged up and runs off. Remy comes through with the trade. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Classic has the option to clutch up here and prevent the round 11, but no. Allegiance forces the comeback. We're in a Game 5, round 11, tournament life on the line. Luminosity Gaming is on the verge of completing their choke.
This would be absolutely insane. I mean, we saw a round where Allegiance, they burned the active camo, nothing came from it. Luminosity won that round. Luminosity then uses the active camo, Classic choke shots. Remy takes him. That completely just opens up this entire match. Round 11, loser goes home. This is what Call of Duty Esports is all about. We're going to be on board with Slack, see if Octane has something to use his FTL jump. I just don't understand. I don't know if he plans on using it at any point in this round, but why do you have it active if you haven't used it in any of the hard point and it looks like you're not in a search and destroy, but the bomb is being planted at B. It is going to be able to go down, and now time is going to be working against the players from Allegiance, but Sinful is going to be on the flank. This could be a huge break here if he takes out Saints. He is going to be able to win that gunfight. Now 3 players down, combat burst coming in. Remy going to go ahead and activate his reactive armor as well, trying to get the turn and burn. Not going to be able to make it happen. Royalty going to be there to pick up Slack though.
This is embarrassing. Classic, though, going up huge for the squad. Royalty shuts down Octane. Classic, everything's on your shoulders, just like last round of 1 versus 2. He needs to go big. Goodness. Wins the first engagement, looking for the second one. Moch is on the bomb. He's seconds away from defusing.
He's gonna get it.
Classic doesn't have enough time. That's the end of the game. Luminosity with the most tragic choke of the tournament. They lose for the 2nd time in a row to Allegiance. That's the end of the tournament run, and what a disappointing way to go out.
Oh my goodness. Such a good heads-up play there by Mochillo to decide to hop the bomb. Obviously had the call from his teammate. He died. He's middle map. Probably watched the kill cam after that play, saw that he was running back to the middle of the map, had enough time to get that. But like we said, it just came down to Luminosity beating themselves in that one. They had that one in the bag. It should have been over, but Allegiance kept on fighting, and now they're going to keep on advancing this tournament. Luminosity going to be eliminated.
That is, wow. They can't be feeling good after that one. What an embarrassing showing. Having a lead throughout most of the game and just getting outplayed, choking and getting outplayed. That can't feel good. They needed to complete this series before they got to Game 5. They did not need to let it get this far.
Jeez, man. What a series. That was great to, there's one more match that's going to be coming up after this one. But just recapping this, you just have to think to this last search and destroy, 1 round away. The camo play by Classic was super good. He choked all those shots on Remy, though, and that completely opened everything up.
How does that even happen? The nerves, the jitters in that moment, because that was a game-winning round. They had every reason to win that round, but starting off that way is just awful.
He was almost a hero, too. That's the biggest thing about it is the 1 versus what? I believe he ended up picking. Was it a 1 versus 3 or was it 1 versus 2? He was able to take out 1.
Classic, yeah.
Yep. So he was almost a hero there at the end, but the timing just didn't go in his favor. You have to kind of wonder if maybe he decided to backtrack, go to cave, and then try to take out Mochillo because they planted the bomb facing the security side. Maybe he would have been able to take him out, but either way, it was just a good heads-up play there by Mochillo, taking that risk. I'm going to defuse the bomb. Had a great search and destroy performance, 6-6, 2 plants, and then 2 defuses as well, and that 1 defuse, the biggest one probably of the tournament so far.